Okay. This is a very nasty job. Holy crap. Wrong one. Okay. Okay, let's see what works. Good morning. Yeah, wow, it was a very quick move. Let me just set up my broker and we get going. But I did not expect something like this right off the bat here. Did not expect this at all. To have this delivery before the 10 a.m. news. Lots of tech selling off, I guess. We just swept London lows here. Also swept London lows on NQ. Not even down that much on the day, huh? Look at the hourly. We might just be going for the sell side here. Let's see. It's a very slow over here too. We're basically under midnight open. If we're bullish, we'll probably look for a long here, but I do want these low to be taken. I'm thinking we probably retrace back up for lower prices. So I really don't want it to take out the low just yet. Let's see what happens in the first FAG. Let me connect my broker to trading view. Okay, we're good to go. Good morning. Hope your week is doing well. Hope you're doing well too, Ash. Here, the lows we're looking at is at London right now. Kind of taking, we have Asia lows here. We've been basically buying every single dip yesterday. We just kind of refused to break on NQ. Now we're looking to change that right off the bat. We have 10 a.m. news, high impact news here. Let me just pull it up. Consumer confidence. Not sure how that will impact, but we just know there will be volatility during the 10 a.m. time here. It's gonna be sticky for setup. Both midnight open under here. Got sweep. That hourly point of interest, but just right there at the sell side. And we're approaching the time macro. So I really want to see us just come back up. So we're gonna make this low. We fill this hourly. Just give a simple tap back up and then really tear down. If that's what it chooses to do. Look at the 4 hour. We've just been chopping around, consolidating. We have a large daily imbalance here, right? Which is kind of like a daily breaker. But this is just a large imbalanced cost from the NVIDIA earnings. And I really want to see that fill in too. Would you say the 7:30 news delivers some sort of buy side? Is that 8:30 for me? I mean, I'm on Eastern time right now. I'm assuming it's 8:30 for me. Let's see. It didn't really deliver to buy side, right? With 8:30 news, we already made the high right before that. Unless you're talking about, was there 7:30 actual 7:30? Okay, no. Because ironically, the 7:30 actually made the high here for both ESN and Q. Where is this? This is not showing up. I might need to restart my trading view real quick. Nothing's synced together. Because I want to have my mark on the hourly also show on the 1 minute. Let's see if it syncs up now. Okay, syncing up now. Yeah, that's what happens. Sometimes it just doesn't sync together. That's much better. Okay, we're good, we're good. Alright, let me just see what lines I made. This is order block here. I'm just gonna delete that. We're just gonna observe the hourly. Yeah, so we fill this hourly point of interest. I just want to see us come back up and retrace before sending us lower. I don't really want to see the sell side taken before 10 a.m. Let's see if we get a setup coming though. Is this considered AMD X, or are you referring to quarterly theory? That's something more Dono would answer. Let me see if Dono's on. But yeah, longs look pretty good for a retracement. Then like I think overall though I'm pretty bearish. Not just because of this drop here, or I was already bearish going in because all the failure to move higher. But right now, I think it's a move long for lower prices. So we go up, probably up to this hourly FEG here. We just want to stay nimble. We're in the macro now. Let's get ready to work though. It's not connected yet. Let me connect again. Why is it not connected? Give me a second. I just want to connect again. Huh? It doesn't want to connect. I must connect it somewhere else already. Yeah, connect to a different page. Okay. Let me just log out, connect again. Just so we can demonstrate every trade we take real time. There we go. Locked in trade of 8, we're good. Six a.m. to 7:30 seems accumulation. 7:30 to 0 seems manipulation. And the current 9. All right, 7:30 to 9 manipulation, and then 9 to 10:30 distribution. We'll see if that plays out. I don't really follow the quarterly theory though, but I'm happy to like be open to learn about it. It's probably best to even learn through these concepts by experience. Swept this low here, taking the London low as well, which just happened at 2 a.m. Pretty clear targets there. You got me into ICT. I'll never forget. You actually took the emails off 2 days ago. That's a win. I mean, like if whatever you're trying to do is working already, you understand it more. Like you need to get rid of useless confluence that kind of deter you from just focusing on one model. Let me see the 15. Yeah, I did bounce off the 15 here. I think markets do want to come up. Same thing as the hourly. The 15 hourly kind of lines right now. Let's see. Yeah, it's the same thing. I just like using the hourly more. Just coming higher here. So we're in the hourly point of interest here. We're in the time macro. Let's see. The time macro, I would say, from my experience, if there's 10 a.m. news, you want to focus on the next one, which is the 10:50 to 11:10. Not sure how this macro would play out. $15-minute breaker, let me see. Yeah, this is a clean breaker here. We can mark that. But it coincides with the 15-minute FEG as well. It's a good catch. We already kind of like bounced here already. It's just still holding. You can't really see on the hourly there. That's a good catch there. Bearish today. Well, I'm thinking hopefully just kind of move up and then really take down the lows, which is this first sell side here. We'll smash through it. Kind of what I'm thinking. It could change. Like if we move up and don't make a reversal or make a just keeps on holding, then we're not gonna. Of course, we're not gonna shorten blindly. But yeah, we look at the 4 hour, let's say, right? The range we've been going at after we take this high, it's been pretty stagnant here. This probably could be seen as also a 4-hour breaker too, a bearish breaker. Since we have a high here, we have a low here, and we swept this high, close it, bound this low. This has been holding price down, and also aligns very well with the hourly. This has been just holding it down here. This BPR is not letting price move past it. So just understanding what happens on the higher time frame, and then we're just gonna break it down in the 1 minute or the 5 minute. All right, 10 a.m. news in 3 minutes. That's what I'm waiting for. When there's 10 a.m. news, I don't really hunt for trades before then. We could just play the aftermath. Let's see. That's the hourly tap right there. So kind of looking at this, you know, we just kind of retrace all that move downwards. Now we're back up here to the premium area. We don't know if this is going to reject or just going to hold and just really push past this. This is still an area that I want to get taken. And we can take this area. I really think it breaks down. I really think we can move lower. That's like the only thing I wanted to see happen Monday, I think, which is yesterday. There we go. So yeah, we're back in the hourly there. I don't really trust upside holding anymore since we have so many failures to move upside. But we do have some nasty low resistance liquidity going down here. Yeah, 1 minute for news. Let's just see how that plays out. Well, I think we'll get setups today, though. It's Tuesday usually is like my best trading days, or best range, and just giving good setups. But it's just we're still in that like consolidation chop, so we're gonna stay very nimble as possible. There's that 10 a.m. pop there. Probably something we could have played evals on. I forget that you can play news on eval. I've been just so focused on just taking real trades. Even in my evals, and I'm treating like evals kind of like funded, just like with larger sizing. But sometimes you tend to forget that you can do that. See how well we hold above this F5 minute here. Also look at this. See if we get closure above. So that's interesting. The hourly candle close. We wicked inside this little balance here. and close within this FEG, making it still very, very bullish. We opened up just a little bit under though. It's just very hard to tell where and what's at now. Would you want to look for sells if price respect the 5-minute FEG? I would be very confident for sells for shorts if we can just really take out this area first and then like come down. This place has been bothering me. It just has way too much. Let me delete some things there. Way too much things going on there where I want it to be taken. And it will just be deal over from the high and then down back to the low. Alright, so it's 2 minutes for 10 AM news. This is kind of like the start of our kill zone. We don't really want to focus trades too much during the opening move. But yeah, this FEG, this bearish FEG here, once we had a closure above, we just retap back inside, bounce on the door block, move for high prices. I want to see if the 5-minute can really get back down here and not just be a wick off of news. That's kind of what I'm anticipating, considering how ES is moving. We're just moving away from it. We're already back at the premium here. We're looking at this range, the dealing range here. Just go all the way up. The macro indicator, yeah. So I'm gonna click this. It's called Macro Tracker by 2 degrees. You can see the degree sign. Just type in macro tracker, and the author is 2 degrees. And there's a lot of macros. You only want to pick the macros that you trade in, because like there'll be some random macros that I won't even consider. Like I don't really consider the lunch macro. That's when I get off anyways. ES is respecting the 15-minute breaker. I think ES was and Q was respecting the 15-minute breaker as well. Is it the bearish breaker you're talking about, or the bullish breaker? Because we were talking about the bullish one down here. I guess this is still respecting it, yeah. But let me see if there's a bearish one. It's kind of hard to really tell because this would already be active. This could just be bearish breaker. Let's see the 5-minute close here. 5-minute close is right above it. This is pretty interesting here. If this holds, I'm gonna look to short this area. This hourly here. Let's put a stop back above. It's not a breaker, but it's just more of an inversion within the hourly. Kind of like what I'm thinking already. Yeah, like I'm gonna look for shorts here. Let me retest back up. I need to pull it up. Shit. Okay. Start adding shorts here. Let me just. I'm trying to do limit orders. I'm doing it quick. Ah, damn it! I was too slow. I don't want to mark it on TradingView just because I'm trying to do a ninja. Ninja makes it very seamless execution. I was very slow on that, and I had the wrong sizing on too. It's coming back up. Let's see if I can add it in here. I'm actually gonna add to it. I'll put my stop just at 810. Just follow. Oh, we're coming back up. That looked good to me. Let me see. I'm just gonna hold through this. This is an eval still on me on the Apex eval. If we get closure, I'll just close it, I guess. I'm trying to do the 150k eval. Let me just put my hard stop on at least too. About 12 points. Yeah, but price is moving very fast. We were up like about 15 points from that drop, and now we're sitting back in. Just look at the 5 minute too. 5 minutes just bounce back and forth. Kind of seeing this as a BPR here too. As long as price can hold here. We're in the hourly point of interest, so as long as like price doesn't really trade above, I'm pretty confident that this sells down. But yeah, goddamn, price is very volatile right now. We're moving 15 points in like each candle. I'm just gonna wait for like a clean breaker setup for my fundeds. This is just a inversion trade based on the hourly point of interest. I just want to lower prices. And I'm doing this on the 150k Apex, so I really need to go for a big target. So probably going for like 30 points here if we can get down. Let's do this. Oh, this is about 17 points. I want to go down to 34 points here. I'll probably close the position if we hover above. But yeah, we'll look for high quality setups on funded. This is not something I'll take on funded. I do want to see price maintain this area though. It's trying. It's really trying. I don't want to see any closure above, but there's a lot of attempts going above here. Still holding this for now. If this closes below, I'll probably pyramid into the entry and really target down here. I'll just see where it goes. Just give him some space. So I need a closure under this 1 minute here. Yeah, so I was looking at the hourly just for a retrace back to this and then for lower prices. So I'm trying to play that plan right now. And I'm looking for a return to these lows. And eventually the sell side if it does deliver there. I could be wrong. I'm not married to this trade. That's why it's on the eval here. It's idle. It's very idle here. giving a lot of time. It still hasn't done anything yet, which Nicholas, I'm trading the 150k eval, so I need 9,000 profits. I think we're up 3,000 so far on it, but this might set us back a little bit. I've been just trading with 4 or 5 minis though. I'm not doing like 10, 15 minis. So I'm gonna try to pass on stream. Lots of wicks, man. Just lots of wicks, but no closure above. I don't like how this flips though. Yeah, we might take a 1,500 loss here. Just going for it. This is a 17 point stop. I was going for about 33 here. Not a clean breaker trade though, just a more inversion in like a dealing range, how I want to see it deliver. The vibe is supported with this too. How is ES and NQ kind of holding? NQ is so strong. I guess she's not ready to break yet. That all these wicks up here made me kind of believe that maybe we are just wicking up, and then since we have no closure on, like, we had closure down here. That's gonna take me out here. I'm not sweating it though. We'll just look for the next trade. Trying to pass today. It doesn't have to be day, but hopefully this week, because we already at 1/3 way there, you know, with 3k profits. And I just want to see if we can pass it. Probably it doesn't have to be day though. It could be within the next 3-4 days. Let me show. If we take the loss, we'll take the loss though. We'll just wait for the next setup. This is still holding though here. This flipped and became... I like how ES is like barely moving though. I don't want to see this use as support though. At least we did close above it. I'm looking at the overall. It's being used to support more. Yeah, I might need to just get the trade, get out this trade, and then we can look for a different setup here. I'll just close it here. I'm just gonna wait. It was like minus 700 there. Bought like a, what is that? Like a 6-point loss total, 7-point loss. I'll re-enter if it comes back up. Like I think I gave it too much time. Here, I'm gonna get some more water and then we'll focus on getting better trades. That was too choppy. Okay, I'm back. Wow, like dead eyes. I put the getting water and it just really pushed it up. So look at basically the reason I exited this trade here. It came back to break even essentially. I was looking at this as the BPR here. We can kind of extend this to the left. This was first a bearish FEG that closed under, became inversion. We left inside that inversion. We had this bearish FEG too. We just really closed above and then flipped it, becoming like more of a balanced price range. This has just been holding the price up. So like immediately when it came back to this area here, we just had like a 15-point rejection. But it really bounced off of this order block here, right? And it just filled this inefficiency down here. But immediately just had strength holding back up. So the thing I want to point out is once it really came back up here, these here are supports. We haven't had a closure above, so I was still confident in the trade. But once these are used as support and had a closure above, this is like not a very high confident trade for me, or not confident trade at all. Just like this is failing the setup of for lower prices. And once this last tap back at our entry price again, it came back in, supporting the balanced price range, the bullish in the bullish manner. Once it came back up, I just killed the trade. So about like I entered at 995, killed at 01. Could have killed it earlier, but I was giving it a little bit more room. That's just how you want to manage your trade. You don't want to really marry to a position. Like if the setup fails, especially, and I think that's a very good way to like prove like, you know, how you want to manage your risk. Are you trading on Apex? I'm trading on this Apex right now. Yes. This eval in Apex. They're at 1053 right now. This is the balance here. It was, I think it's 1053.7. This we started this I think Thursday or something like that. And we're trying to pass on stream and we just lost like $700 here. Let's focus on A+. Yeah, I'll basically switch my account when we get a clear breakers trade. That's what I focus on my funded. But on evals, I'm more free to take like trades what I think is gonna happen. So the way that I trade, like we're gonna type this out. I just basically for fundeds, I just look for one main setup per session. This is still very early on the session. It hasn't got it yet, and it has to align with. Let me type this out. Where is it? I sort of typed it. Discount text bias. Okay, it has to align with the daily bias and the intraday bias, and then the low time frame would, like, let's say all these are the intraday is short. My low time frame bias would also be short. That's what I'm focused on for the A plus setup, and if it's a setup I'm looking for, it's usually a unicorn trade on the 1 or 5 minute. It needs to have a clear draw, likely occur in the macro time. So that's, I already said we're going to be focused on the 1050 to 1110 macro. You're entering short. Let's see how that plays out. I was in 5 M and Q, got in NQ short 5 cons. It's pretty wild right now. Let's see. We took out this high too. We're still respecting this 5 minute ES here. It's about to be a version here too. I still think it's slower prices though. I might give it in the bullet shot here. This is still on Apex eval. We'll all see when there's a clean unicorn to take for a simple a funded trade. Unicorns, yeah. Let me just get rid of the execution. I'll put it back up once we are in another trade. I just don't want it to be lingering in the charts. Yeah, but minus 635 on that trade. Let me see if there's any clean 5 minute here. It's kind of sloppy here. If we have this is a high, low, high, close below, doesn't really work well. There's a good displacement, but not good displacement at the previous low. I still think lower prices though, but I don't want to be married to that bias. Once the hourly close again, maybe I'll understand it more. This looks like it's gonna turn down. No. This is a very clean BPR here. We're gonna boil watching, see how that plays out. It looks like we have a divergence in the chat. We got Zaytrack entering short, and then we got Umair taking long. So let's see who wins that. What's the BPR? Is the balanced price range? It's basically a brief description on how I'll describe that. Is just if you're looking at gaps, which is like FEGs, and FEGs can become to an divergence if it violates. We're looking at gaps that encompass all of that. So it'll be the range that overlaps into it. So this is a bullish FEG here. We have a bearish FEG here. Just the overlapping of that. Just the bearish FEGs within the larger bullish FEG. So this is a BPR where we're seeing this as support coming down here. But once we close below, we're looking at this as resistance. In this imbalance too, this closed back above. Now we're seeing this as a bullish price range gap here. So we will still expect to see if price want to hold in this area. Ash is everywhere. Yeah, Ash. I mean, me and him trades bull unicorn in a different perspective. We trade very similar, but still the same concept at least. I still think lower prices, guys. This 5 minute has still been holding on ES2. NQ, we just kind of stopped this high. But I need more confirmation, don't I? It's been wicking a lot up here. We just want to, when we trade, you guys gotta risk manage, and if the setup is validated, just kill the trade. Is it the same as inversion? No, it's not the same. Yeah, it looks like lower prices right now. This is what else, something else also expecting here. Yeah, we do also have lows. That's a good point. I'm pretty bearish on ES. Yeah, we should take the trade on ES. I don't know why we're trying to force NQ right now. Because we already see ES withholding this 5 minute here. We're in the premium of the range still. NQ's just being very stubborn. We had that divergence from the chat. Let's see. I guess Zaytac won that disagreement or that divergence. Reborn short on that 15 minute as well. Yeah, I do like short on ES. ES is very clear short right now for me. I just don't know why I'm trying to force NQ. NQ just has a lot of strength right now, which would flip if it does follow suit with the ES. Once again, this BPR here. Let me just briefly, for those who don't know how a BPR would work exactly, let me just pull it up. It's a very simple concept, and it pairs well with the unicorn. This is basically it, right? We have, let me just break it down. Just real quick, it should be like a minute. We have the inversion. This is not inversion yet, right? We have like a bearish FEG, but we close above it, it becomes inversion. Once we close above it, we leave that displacement, a strong displacement, which creates a bullish fair value gap. And the overlapping of that, where BPR is the balanced price range between all the gaps here. So like this is how I described it. It's a powerful PD ray that serves as a balancing factor among all gaps, encompassing both fair value gaps and inversions. The overlapping part here, that's the BPR, and that's what we're seeing right now. This BPR is still holding. That's the reason why when I shorted here, once we close above and kept on using this BPR as support, this stop here, I had to kill the trade. NQ's volatility is addicting. I think it's just ES doesn't really leave that many gaps. But once again, this is a very good question though. Like if you don't know what a BPR is, this is maybe not many of you guys mark this out, but I had this on my screen right from the start just because I see how important it is. And what I've said here, like I'm looking at shorts just because we made this version already closed below. Probably gonna be targeting this as support again to see how price reacts here. If you can go through it though, I think down here is very likely. What is this? Is that the link to it? Yep, thank you. But yeah, this still, like, if you didn't take any trades yet, this is still a very good tape reading. Once price action really gives the setup you're looking for, which I really haven't seen a clean setup on like the breaker yet, unless you're looking at the 15 minute. The 15 minute has probably been giving clean setups, which has been very rangy. Part of like kind of like charting it out, like even like if I mark this is a large displacement here, right? It creates like a huge imbalance. This is way too large, and when you see like something else created, you can mark it as BPR, just the balanced price range, and it's been more utilized than this whole gap here. This has been giving multiple taps and respecting very well. So like instead of having that large imbalance here, initial bullish FEG, it'll be so much easier, so much cleaner, organized to just have a smaller part that you're paying attention to. But yeah, we're still waiting. It's only 30 minutes in right now. I think we started stream probably 9:50. About 30 minutes plus that 10 minutes that we've been like kind of waiting. But Sleepy is right though. Like I think NQ is kind of addicting sometimes with the volatility. I don't know. I just know ES is so much more cleaner to play around with right now. It kind of follows what I'm thinking right now. And I guess you could also use this as the breaker too. How would I mark it? We could just use the last close candle on the 5 minute. This is pretty decent here too. I think someone said they're using this as a 15 minute. Let me see if it shows better on the 15. I guess overall, the 5 minute here of the recent price here. As long as still respecting, I'm still expecting price to hold. Let's find a trade for ES, yeah. Man, this BPR is godly though. And Q has equal highs. Yeah, it has good relative equal highs too. I'll give that mark. We'll just do an estimation here. Still nothing actionable for me yet. We're just gonna tape read here. Tapering is also very good, guys. This is so like the theme in this, like once we have like a 3 candle like this, we have a large displacement followed by like kind of a neutral one, and then another large displacement. We have 2 gaps, right? The gap is very similar, but since this gap overlaps with this one, we're just gonna be focused on this as the BPR. It's way too similar to really tell the difference, but when it's like a large difference like this, it's really important to focus on the quality of the gap. Let's see how this plays out though. I think I'm just gonna be very leaning lower once this gets taken out. This has been too strong with support, and we'll likely kind of get like a 5 minute bearish breaker. Let me just see on the 5 minute. It doesn't really show, but if we get a close under here, right, this is probably a retap back inside for lower prices. We're looking at this as the high, the low, higher high, and then once we get an energetic move lower here, gonna use this as our breaker. Evals plays 1 day pass is a trap from Apex. No, okay. I don't even like that. That's why like you see me not trading to pass in 1 day. I'm just trying to pass it over the course of a week. We're like 30% there. So I agree with you. That's a trap because most people are like, okay, let's pass a day. Let's run it. Let's do 15 minis. Let's try to escalate this, accelerate this process. I don't think it's the way to go. But when you say like kind of like we're taking non-confirmed trades, I think it was like a trade. It's a decent trade. It's just not like an A+ trade for me. And I'm waiting for that. We'll likely get 1 A+ trade every session. And I'm thinking it occurs in that 10:50 to 11:10, considering we have 10 a.m. news. Once again, the BPR is holding. Very clear here. I can definitely see a pop though. A pop for lower. I still think a pop for lower though. Maybe it could run the area that I was looking for. Again, around 18,060. I don't know if it really wants to go up there, but it's definitely a possibility. There's just like no point in trying to pass it in one day. If you could just like, you could really theoretically just pass it, like get enough profit target, and then just micro in and out for the remainder days. I think 7 days total, so you can pass in the first few hours, and then just next 6 days just go micro in and out just to fulfill that criteria, and then you get funded. You're just gonna be delayed by a bit, but there's no rush in trying to get funded, right? Are you in trade? No, we're not in trade yet. We're waiting. But once you realize that that's a trap, then that's kind of how you can identify, like, okay, this is not something you want to partake. Yes, it looks like it does want to go for those equal lows. Let's look at the hourly here. This was made in the 9:30, yeah. Wait, this is 15 minutes. Let me just change it, sorry. Okay, we're good. Equal lows, man. It's a magnet here. I want to jump in shorts though. Let's see. See if we get an ES trade. I'm definitely interested in taking it on ES rather than NQ. NQ has just been too hectic, but this has been overused as support, and we've been doing our thing up here. We already took the highs here. If NQ, when NQ is volatile, it's gonna show strength upwards and downside. So if it can flip its strength. Looking for lower prices here. I want to get back in shorts for this eval though. Still not like clear breaker setup. I think the breaker trade it would be following if we get a closure here and retap back in. That'd probably be the breaker trade here, and it'll likely align with this BPR or another balance it creates. That's kind of what I'm anticipating for my A setup. I got my lit on the BPR. What does that mean? Is that what like everyone's just shorting and is exiting on that BPR every time? No one just knows about it, but it just works every single time. I want to give another shot, guys. I want to give another shot short right now. I do think this plays out. And then we have equal lows as our magnet. It's kind of hard to get the entry on ES. It's just not that good risk reward here. I was looking for a retap back in the BPR. Probably would have shorted there. See if we get closure under. Oh, you got the limit on the BPR. Limit short here. Is that what you're kind of referencing to do? That's what I was gonna do too. Just because this has been overrun. Let's see its strength here. Still looking at the 5 minute here also. 5 minutes likely uses as inversion here. Oh yeah, you're in shorts. Yeah, that's a good call. I think I probably would agree with the way you're thinking right now. This is gonna be the main target here. I'm just looking for more. I don't want to get jumped in too early again. I need more confirmation. The 5 is showing conflicting things, right? The 5 minute here is the same. I think it's the same candle, or it's very close. We have the breaker on the yes, the 5 minute bearish FG that got filled, wicked up, no closure, it came in lower. NQ just smashed it, taking out the highs. So I would think also lower prices, but we could just really bounce on this 5 minute as well. I still think lower prices though. That's what I'm 80% leaning on. Yeah, good call on shorts, man. That's equal lows. That's already kind of the magnet target there. So yeah, once we validate this BPR here, we just kind of retap in this one, fill this 1 minute, and close lower, violating this one. This just helps us get to the target. I don't know if we really want to come back up, but it could. I would think lower prices still. You get a closure under this low here to create the bearish breaker. But NQ, I can't really judge NQ. It's just way too strong. It's very easy to play ES or kind of have an idea of ES though. We just kind of have equal lows here. This got swept, right? Tapping the breaker in the 5 minute fill, just lower prices. So like if we got an entry in here at 84, that would have been like 9 points. Should have what we looked at though. There's also that divergence happening. So when ES was here, that's the high end already. NQ move higher high. ES made it a lower high. So for those who wasn't short, once we get those equal lows target, like that should have been a good timing to really kill the trade, or not kill the trade, take most of your profits. That's the magnet of the move here. We're approaching the macro time for 10:50, 11:10. I'm hoping we get a good setup there. Tap break even. Damn, that's unfortunate. Long setup on NQ here. Bouncer in the 5 minute. Could inverse bearish gap. Are you basing the entry model on what? The inversion? Or This is like inversion here. I just gonna set it as a 5-minute though. But it's a bearish FEG that kind of got filled here, closed wicked lower, and then once we got closure above, this becomes inversion using as support. That's what I'm afraid of here. That's why I was thinking like NQ could not break just until we need to violate that. So a lot of just commentating right now, which is fine. We're still hunting. We're just hunting for the setup, so. I'm glad that you guys are calling out trades and taking trades on your own, though. Because we really want to focus on becoming independent traders. Entering the version, yeah, I get that. Just NQ does not want to break yet. Someone's holding up NQ. Moving higher here. Yeah, nothing you're in. That's very good, man. I don't think there's anything I really want to trade here. Yeah, that's why my fund is still untouched. We'll likely get a setup coming, I think. This is our only shot, I think. 1050 to 1110. I want to see a setup coming here. I'm assuming you're bullish bias from the daily candle, right? We got the daily FEG here, retap back inside of it. Inside of like a breaker, essentially. It's just too large for me. I still have that mindset of like, I really want this high to be protected. And just seeing that we've been failure to like really move past this BPR here. Eventually, I want to see it get taken now. I think this is what's holding us back. If this can get taken, and then we form like a low time frame reversal here, I think we can really take it down. That's the only thing that's holding it back for me. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you even need a bias at the moment because we've just been going up and down, like consolidating back and forth. We haven't really had an actual move since that move up on last Friday. We're just waiting. ES has been pretty weak as well. And that's that move up here. Yeah, you guys, we gotta just gotta be patient though. Like, we're not forcing any setups. We're gonna look for the previous week high. Yeah, Friday high. We have what, 2 more days before February ends. I'm calling that the Friday is protected for the until the end of February. This high here. So it's only it's like 150 points away. It's not that far away considering how we've been moving. If we really want to get there, we can. But Dono is also calling for the previous day high. I do want these highs to be taken. Or not these highs. These highs, relative highs. I'm talking about these highs up here. 060s. We're about 40 points away from that. This is very choppy though. Just trying my best not to take blind trades here. $10.20 high might be area for potential short. Let's see what you're talking about. 10.20. We're looking at this area. This is still like an inversion for me, yeah. Another retap back into the 5-minute here. I just want to reconfirm. Let's see the hourly again. The hourly is difficult. It is more bearish when I'm looking at it for ES. For NQ, it's been holding pretty well. That's that divergence still going on through the week. So maybe we'll look for trades on ES if we're looking at short still. I'm going to go off a limb, and if we come back to the version, we're going for the short here. This is not much of a drive for me. We did get a sweep, but it was like only one tick. I still want lower prices for ES. I think that's where it's going to be heading towards. Trying not to get chopped up. I've been short since 10 a.m. Tap into the bearish unicorn, the 5 on ES. Yeah, I'm still looking at the same thing as you. But it really haven't got results unless you held till this equal lows, which was a good target, yeah. This chop is very insane. I'm gonna probably start giving a shot in this high macro here. I'm gonna give it like this short here. Maybe let a 2-point stop. We'll drive it down. Pull it up. This chop is pretty nasty though, yeah. I have to agree with you. Oh, I did not click that right one. I'm going to click ES. I think we went short on NQ instead. Did not mean to do that. I went the wrong count. I want to try this short at 81 here. Yeah, I'm getting some difficulties on Ninja. I might have missed. Did I miss that? Hopefully I did. I like this trade here. The 2-point stop. There we go. We're going for this 2-point stop here. Just 81 entry. Still on the apex here. I'm not going to take breaker shorts. Or I'm not going to take a funded trade until we get a clean breaker. Why are we shorting? I think the ES looks good here. Except this. We do have lower liquidity. But we've been supporting the 5-minute and the 5-minute breaker here. I'm going to give it with a 2-point stop. Could be wrong though, you know. Like if you think it's bullish, definitely play the upside. I'm kind of looking at the 5-minute here. It probably does want to really sweep this, and then before it comes down. I'll just see if it does get a closure above. I'll kill the trade. But you really want to do what, you think is best here. I'm thinking shorts here. At least on ES. If it's NQ, we have different bias on NQ. NQ looks more stable for upside. I want to see ES take the Asia lows though, which is all the way down, 73s. I'll add to this trade likely if this pan is out. This lowers liquidity here. It's kind of bothering me though, this trend line liquidity. This is a possibility for me. If we get taken out on this trade here on the 81 short, we can come back up here likely, and if this still respects, I'll just re-enter. 2-point stop is very safe for me. I'll be nimble as possible in this trade because I do like lower prices, but it might not get the lower prices yet. It might go for a little bit higher first before shooting lower. That's the only thing that's like kind of bothering me here. So we'll just be very nimble on this trade. We have a 15-minute inversion. Let me see. Oh. Yeah, we do. Yeah. It's not as important to me though as the 5. 5 shows it very clearly. If you go below 988, that would like short 988. I think so. Like basically anything under this hourly here, I think we have a setup to really take out this low here, which is about a 60-point drop. Fire drill on top step. Let me check. What are they even offering? Are they offering the 5 top Let me see. Should I do it? What is this? 5. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Why not? Why not? It could be fun, right? Let's do the fire drill, guys. Why not? All right, let's zoom in here. So far, not much of a drawdown on this trade, but no movement either. Yeah, that's very fair, Ash. I might have to join you if this still is very slow. That's why I'm kind of like, I'm on the 1 minute trying to go for trades where I think could head towards, which I do think ES could shoot for lower prices. But what the way it's going is consolidating here. I need to give probably more time. Fire drill link. I can share the link. Here, let me just share in the chat. This is the link. You just got to type in your information. It's giving you 5 50K accounts for $4.50. I don't really like Top Step X though. That's just my opinion. Kind of ironic how NQ is moving lower now. But yeah, all my trades is going to be very tight stop for the most part. I'm just going to be waiting for that setup as well. We're not really getting it. This is a possibility for me, but if not, we just really head towards it now. Since we have so many rejection here already. Two scenarios. For ES, I'm still confident unless we get close. Invalidate if close above here. That's like my mindset right now on this trade. If we get under here, that'll be 3 points. I'll probably put break even stop on and take it partial off. Partial. I'm gonna get some more water here. I'll be right back. Hopefully it goes my way. Okay, I'm back. We did sweep the internals. That's 3 points already there. That's a 1.5 RR. I wasn't there for the TP here. We'll just put break even stop on now. I don't want to worry about this trade. I'm I'll go for these lows here though. Luke Burns says, "Is this fun to trade?" No, it's not fun to trade. Yeah, I'll tell you guys when it's fun to trade. I'm only taking. I think I typed it somewhere, right? I'm only taking fun trades if it's a breaker. This is not a breaker setup. This kind of like is a confluence of a breaker. So like we have the 5-minute breaker here on ES. Still just taking it as a regular trade. But yeah, kind of most of February I've been kind of idle with fundeds, just because I don't like price action. I probably only touched my fund like 5 times this whole month, and those 5 times has been at least good. At least I think I only missed like 1 time out of those 5 times. Let's just take. Let's see what I get 2 off early here. See if we get just 3 points, so at least we'll be green somewhere. I missed it. I still think it goes lower. I'm not gonna swipe out a few ticks off. And we already have break even stop on, so no matter what, the trade will be fine. I keep on clicking the wrong button. Wow. Straight back to... I mean, ideally, you would have probably taken 2 or 3 off here. If you took like at 5, I'll probably take 2 or 3 off here. 3 points. Our stop is 2 points already, so that's already 1.5 RR. But since it's an eval trade, I really want to aim for like a home run type of setup, which is like, this is kind of like essentially a formation of a home run. I'm going to keep the breaker stop on. This is still respected here. That's good. I just need to change this to... There we go. That's how I'm going to do it. Just took 2 off here. I'm probably going to hammer this and really aim for lower prices. And if we get this trade, this... Why is it block? I hate how it blocks like this. Okay, there we go. Not bad. This trade probably give me like... kind of how I'm doing it. Let me just see if I can show it on the screen. I have like a multiplier, so like the regular some accounts it'll just be 5 minis, other accounts it'll be 10, and the other accounts will be 15. So like it's like if I take 5 on a normal count, some of them will be 10, other will be 15. That's how I'm doing it with a rep console. I can show you guys if you do want to do it like that as well. It's just because I have different accounts. So some accounts is 50k, some of them are 150k, and some of them are ETF 100ks. So different drawdown, different sizing, different criteria. It's just overall the same setup. If I'm doing a 50k account, I'm probably doing 5 minis on it. And what would be 5 minis? 5 minis on ES, $50 per point times 2 point stop, minus $500. That's not bad. That means you can basically take like about 4 to 5 losses on the Apex account. And those losses really get averaged out over time. So even though it's trailing, as long as you don't, do like crazy large sizing, it's gonna really average out anyways. Wow, but getting water is interesting. Also, I just talk a lot, so I need a lot of water. And also, when I drink a lot of water, I need to use the bathroom to release the water. And that's just why I had to take these like hourly breaks. And that's just my hour here. Hit our stop loss. Let me see. Mine's still good right now. This is just really strong support. I'm glad I at least took some out, at least. I could have taken one more as well. We're still in profit on it. Bum, bum, bum. I just really like ES for lower prices. It just looks clear to me. As long as this breaker holds, we're in this 5 minute. All these wicks don't really matter to me. We want to see only closure above. So that's why I'm so confident on the short. And then we have people in the chat like kind of saying like, why are we short? This is the reason why I'm short. Even the 15 minutes holding it back. Although NQ here is this is a major support area. It's getting dangerous. If this snaps here, like if let's say this area snaps around 80s, this is a free fall for me. How would you go sizing on a 50K live funded? Is it 2,500 drawdown? We can talk about that while we're just waiting for this trade. I'll take one more off if I can here. I'll just take one more off and then let me change this to 2 minis. Which 2 minis on a 50K account, but also like 6 minis left on the 150K account. If we're talking about a 50K account with 2,500 drawdown, right? How many losses do you want to have before you blow the account? That's the main question. And if you're trying to hold it long term, if you're paying one-time fee, like lifetime fee, that means you could just take it slow. So let's say you want to do like 2,500. We're just gonna ignore the trailing drawdown as long as we have the right parameters. It should average out. If you risk $400 per trade, kind of like how I do, $400 per trade, it should be this way. Oh, sorry. That means you can afford about 6 consecutive losses, 6 net losses before you blow the account. And with $400 per trade for ES, let's just do it for ES. We'll do like 3 minis and $50 per point, 2.6 stops, 2.5 stops average. Let's say that's fine. I think that's very doable because I'm doing that with 2 point stop. So this is how I'll do it. Like if I was kind of trading a 50K account and how I want to manage my risk, I'll basically go for like a 2.5 stop, 3 minis. Max loss would be $400 if I get stopped out. I'll probably look for a break-even point somewhere, likely in that 1.5 RR, kind of similar to how I'm doing here. So like by the time we get plus with the 2.5 stop, by the time we get 3 points, I'll take a partial and put break-even stop, and then really aim for the draw. The draw could be like 7 points, 10 points. It could be whatever you think the draw is. For right now, the draw for me is down here, and then also here. So 5 points here, and then about 8 points down here. That's what I'm holding towards. Only 2K drawdown, so they just adjust it. Like instead of $400 loss, it'll be like 300, 350. But kind of like what I preach though, instead of like doing micros, why not trade minis with tight stops? Does that make sense? So I'm still able to do like 3, 4. I'm still like kind of telling you guys you can do 3, 4 minis as long as you have a decent stop, like 2.5 stop, 2 point stop. That's doable to me. 2 points is definitely tight. 2.5 to 3 is more reasonable for ES. So you do 5 minis, 2 point stop on eval, and 3 minis, 2 point. Like Jaden, that it doesn't matter about the sizing. I always calculate the max loss. So let's just use your example. 3 minis, $50 per point, and with a 2 point stop. Oh shit! It should be 300 though, as long as I'm not stupid with the math. That's $300 per max loss per trade. That is very, very doable, and that's safe. That's conservative as well, right? I think that's very safe. Because if you have $2,500 drawdown account, let's say we're not going to cover about trailing drawdown. We'll just do end of day trailing drawdown, which is like it trails you end of day, which is not intraday. That just gives you about like 8 losses. What would you do on the 150K? The same math applies, right? Let's just do $4,500 drawdown. That's, I think, ETF drawdown. I would probably say risk about $500 to be conservative. If you're conservative, $500 per trade. That means you have 9 consecutive losses before you get tapped out. And $500, you could probably do, if you do 2.5 stop, let's see, $500, $50 per point. Let's do 3 minis, 3.3 stop. That's also very doable. We swept this low once again, also building another relative equal lows. I think lower prices still. To me, NQ though, this is free fall here. But yeah, I have different sizing on this one right now. Like we entered on the 150K. I think we entered larger sizing on some of them. Also trade on the 50K. So like some of them has 6 minis still. Others have 2. How I operate with full 5 minis. It's just a different multiplier. As long as you like have a reasonable risk per trade, you're open to do sizing that people might think that's outrageous. And let's just see the count right now. We recovered at least. If this trade delivers to the draw, which I'm thinking, the sell side liquidity, we're probably gonna be at 154,000 on this account, which would help us recover. But I'm not gonna preach you guys like, oh, do 2-point stop because it's easy to do. Like I'm literally doing it myself. We took this trade with 2-point stop, 81 short, stop loss at E3, and we already got like, if we're looking at this low here, which is the first draw liquidity here, just equal lows. This is already a 2.6 RR, about 5 points. And maybe like after time, you guys could get used to like kind of doing tighter stops as well. That's just how I do it. That's what works with me. It allows me to maintain the sizing that I want to do. I don't like doing micros. But like if I did like 5 micros with 2-point stop, that's just like me risking like $100 or $50. I don't know the math, but like it's something very low. This is taking forever to play out. We're already in a time macro here. This is why we're looking for the short here. I'm thinking this is gonna mark the top after respecting all these 15-minute here. So we shorted 81. I'm expecting us to deliver, but we're approaching 12 now, and we haven't delivered yet. Still letting it play out. I'm gonna type this out. I typed out in the chat, guys. For funded, try to risk 10 to 15% of your drawdown per trade at most. That's conservative of me. So when you see like a 150K count, right? You might think like, oh, it's a 150K count, but only look at the drawdown. There's no reason for you to look at, what is it? There's no reason for you to look at the account size. It's really about the account itself. So in this case, 150K here. 9K profit target, 5K trailing drawdown. Just think of the trailing drawdown. That's what you actually have. So if you risk 10 to 15% per trade, let's just do 10%. That's $500 per loss per trade. That's doable. That's very conservative to me. And you can operate like that on funded too. That's how I operate on it, and that's how you maintain the account for a long term. But if that doesn't work, then you definitely could try something else that works with you. This is taking so long to play out, man. What will it do? I'm just vibing with the music and letting the setup play out, because if you see on the 5-minute, this is very clear, right? I don't think anyone can be bullish up here on if you're looking at the 5-minute on ES. The moment we get a closure on NQ, that should really send us lower. We get a close in 2 minutes here. I'm trying to go for this as the second draw. Manoli, what is your entry? Mine is 81 right now, and I've been holding it as well. I'm assuming you could probably get like entry at like 83 here, if you're looking at the 5-minute breaker. I'm kind of playing the setup as this is already respected, and it's a second setup for me. So once we have these equal highs here, we have double top here essentially. This 15-minute gap, respecting also the 5 and the 15 minutes, the same story. We just get a run up here to take out this high. I enter on the bearish FG, also in the divergence to respect it. Just like stop above this high again, 2-point stop, and we really aim for the other side. If this seek and destroy, this is where you take your full take profit here. I just want a little bit more down here. I'm Noah Felix from YM. I think I should remember your name from Noli. Because I think you've been around with Desi as well. So yeah, I definitely know who you are. Look how these equal lows are coming here. This is where I expect us to free fall, and this is how we're doing it. It is whatever. Press 1 if you took the short on ES or you're still in it. We've just been holding this since it's been nearly 30 minutes, and the price range has moved in our favor about 5 points. That's fun. We should have really considered 75 TP. I don't know where I was doing. Maybe I was distracted talking. This is a good TP here. Maybe at equal lows. But is anyone in the trade still, or took that trade? I'm probably expecting us to pass the apex by Thursday or Friday, as long as everything goes well. I don't think I'm going to tilt or anything. Not on live stream, at least. You guys see every trade I take, so you will know like if I blow up or not, and I'm not gonna blow up in front of everyone. That's why we have hard stops. If you have hard stops on, you can't really blow up. And if anyone sees me move my stop, that's something that you guys gotta call me out on. I swear, like if I just get the habit of moving my stops just so I can let the trade play out, that's when we break our rules. And the last like 4 or 5 months, I've been pretty hard on staying intact. It looks like Tanya posted her loss. She's down to 730. She took about 15 points loss on Q. And like this is my feed right now. I really go up loss. Desi's also taking a loss. I wonder like today's just is difficult, and you're gonna stay nimble. So people might be playing the upside, people might be playing the downside. I just want to play what I think is good risk reward. London's about to close at 11:30 here. I gave up lots of my gains on this chop, expecting continuation. Should just take ES points every day and call it. Yeah, we should already expect a lot of chop. If we look at the 4 hour, right? This is the price action of the last 3 days here, or 2 days since Friday run. We're expecting chop here, so like we're expecting these two areas to define where we want to go, and we can really hold below or above. Then that's that. And how I operate though, like I'm not really stuck on like, oh, let's just take this high and we're gonna play until we hit this. I'm just staying as nimble as possible. On ES, we are respecting the hourly very well. My bias on ES is lower prices and to go for the sell side here. And that really follows suit with the 5 minute here. So that's why I really try to encourage for you guys to follow. Let me just do this again. The bias. So the bias right now, we'll just mark out. This is very neutral right now. Neutral, maybe leaning bullish. Leaning bullish still. Intraday bias on ES. On ES specifically, down or bearish. 5 minute, bearish. So what trade I'm gonna take? I'm gonna take shorts. Why does it not show? There's that free fall break here. Is there an app to track payouts easily? What does that mean? Like your own payouts? I think everyone, lots of profiters has been using Rise or Wise. That's probably the best way. If not, just like just use your bank account. Isn't your bank account like something so you can just identify if you got payout or not? We'll take off another one here. I'm not gonna hold. I'm gonna hold one to the target. Let me see if I can just do a limit actually. I'll just do that. The tick doesn't matter. I just want to take another one off. This is also a multiplier. I have 6 minis on some of my accounts still. But the range has not been favorable. That looks like a second drive down. Let's just see if we can take it off here. Take one more and then we'll just put break and stop in the last one. I think I'm missing the TP here. This is a very clear TP, especially after a sweep here. Once we have all these equal lows here, one tick is not really something that I really count as a sweep. But once we get this quick drive here and be a reversal, now I'm like, my interests are like, we gotta protect ourselves if we're in profits. Still pretty good here though. So I still just have for some Apex 1 mini, 3 minis on other Apex. It's the multiplier is very easy to use for rep console. And if I look at the counts, this is what I'm looking at right now. We're about $1,300 on this bottom counts here. Just gonna let that play out. Pretty solid day at least though for this trade. I don't think we got a funded trade though. Like just like Ash said, like there was no clean breakers. But the only thing, well, this is the clean break here. I think if we took this trade here, 84, this would have been very good. You could put a stop above. I'll probably put like 87 stop, 3-point stop here, and to really take down this low. I don't know. Was I focused on NQ here? I think I was on focus on NQ. I think we were trying to short on NQ instead. But if we short on ES, we would have been much more profitable on that trade. Apex is extending the 1-day pass until Monday. Until Monday? Okay. I mean, it's not going to really change the trajectory of how I trade, though. I think I still have a plan to really try to pass by Thursday or Friday in the next 3 days. As long as we keep on making like about 2,000 each day. So much for the free fall, right? I mean, it did break. We got like about a 10-point drop, and it just got bought back up. Just saying they extended it because they had some major rhythmic issue. Yeah, I can see. Past 10, 150K. Okay, Andrew, can you tell your story on how you pass those 10, 150Ks? Those are very hard to pass, I feel like, to me. 9K profit target with a 5K trailing drawdown. Like, did you try to pass it one go? And what if you did? What was your like hit rate with them? Like, how many times you fail? If you want to just elaborate on your story. I'm trying to follow kind of like, if you guys know JCap FX, or Kyle, he's like a big prop trader. I'm not trying to pass on one go or in one flash. I'm trying to make it more sustainable. So I'm treating the evals like how I do funded, just more sizing. The same setup I'll take on probably funded. Not this case though. We could have taken it on the breaker, but we got the aftermath of it. Just because we have so much divergence, I don't think I would take this unfunded. It's just too I need more confirmation. Not very responsible. I treated it as a $350 position, not a 10 challenges. So like, yeah, each challenge was about like what, $30. You had the mindset of like, if I fail, I only lose $300. But this is where I hope people who trade like that, they are responsible during the funded process. So once you get funded, go back to the stream the next few days, and we'll actually trade legit. We'll trade with appropriate sizing. You gotta manage your own sizing. If I'm trading evals, especially, and you like the setup I take, and if I do 5-10 minis, just do what you're gonna be comfortable with. Do 2 minis or 1 mini, and have a max loss there. You were spot on about the bias is neutral. Yeah. So this is my bias right now. This is for ES. NQ shows different results, but it's neutral for me on the daily, bearish on intraday, just because the hourly here. Oh, it keeps on. What the heck? Just because it keeps on printing there. Is that why the visibility is not shown? And on the lower time frame, which is the one I'm executing on, 5 minute and the 1 minute, it just still shows bearish. I want to see if I can hold one down here. But now I trade like it's everything. $300 risk for a $5,000 trailing drawdown. I'll go to 200 risk if I fall about. Yeah, that's. I think I like that plan. It's a lot. It's really conservative if you ask me. But if you pay the lifetime fee, you don't have any time to worry about. That's pretty fine. I'll just probably take another off here on this 150K. This is going way too slow, and we're approaching lunchtime. I have 2 left. I'm probably taking 1 here, and then whatever the last one is will probably be much down lower to the next hourly. 66 if we can. That'll be a phenomenal showcase. This is what it be. Just type in chat. We had a good tape reading session. More so on NQ. Kind of like tape reading with the BPRs and all that, which I really hope that you guys hammer that in, because it's so fundamental and it's something I utilize heavily. And we have a great short on ES. We're staying very nimble. Like I'm open for upside on NQ. I'm kind of open for downside on ES. And just depending on which side it picks, I'll literally flip my bias that minute if I want to. Low resistance liquidity here. This is see what it does here, but we're about 2,000 up on the Apex account right now. I think we were down like what, 700 800 on that trade, that NQ trade, and we recovered on that move now. Hopefully we end at 154,000. But by lunchtime we're just gonna end the stream. I'm probably not gonna hold through lunchtime. Maybe I'll hold a runner, like how I'm doing right now. But I really dislike trading the lunchtime period, or even like tape reading it. It's just not good for me. Kind of some things I talked about yesterday. If it is bad price action where it's sloppy, strong divergence, no clean delivery, don't force the trade. This is gonna be something I'm gonna preach probably every time we hop on stream. Yeah, market is taking a while to digest the last week's. The Nvidia move really shut down the market, which I know a lot of people are trying to buy the dip. They see like, look, a bullish FEG, large imbalance here, a bullish breaker here too. We retap back in. They probably think, you know, deliver external to internal, which is very logical. But they probably think we're gonna run all-time highs. I don't think that. I really think we just kind of get a move like this and then really slam down. We don't have to like slam lower, but it's gonna be a nice retrace probably in this area, and then maybe it could either go lower or it really could go back up. But that's why I'm calling that the monthly highs end for February at least. And for the premium members who are watching, I think we're going to set up a backtesting session tomorrow after hours. I think we have it set up now. And we're going to try to do that once a week. So like 1 or 2 hours. Maybe once a week, up to 2 times a week. I think the interest was Saturday at 7 p.m. That's when everyone has a lot of free time and they're willing to do it. We're just going to probably go that route. And the objective is trying to get you guys to become more independent. Because I'm not here to give you free trades. I'm here to give you the skill set that you need to really continue trading. We're in this trade for 45 minutes now. A little bit, probably 50 minutes, right? 81 short, no drawdown on this. We got about 6 points immediately on it. We're pretty like the first 10, 15 minutes, and then we're just hovering. I don't know what is up with the delivery today. Yeah, and if we get a PM set up, we'll signal that for the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you can join. It's free right now. But there's some private channels, like the alert channel and other things that I'm gonna do, like the backtesting session. But it's not like required. As long as you're trading, you're backtesting your own, you're doing everything. You don't need. It's just a extra service. But you can get the same thing just watching me live, just watching the Discord. I do so well on eval, then lose on PA. So that problem is likely due to. I don't know your life, or I don't know how you're trading, but from my experience, when I talk to people like that, they do really good on eval, but fail on funded. That's because people are treating evals like they're like gambling it. It's like, oh, discount prop firm, it's 90% off, it's 80% off. We'll just buy it. If we lose it, doesn't matter. So you're kind of treating all those failures on those Apex accounts like, oh, you're brushing it off. And then once you succeed and pass it, you're like, let's go, we passed it. But you neglect all the fail attempts that you did on Apex. I'm not trying to point out you specifically, but that's just how that's a theme from what I've seen. And instead of doing that, you just want to trade funded and eval very similarly. The only difference would be evals. I would probably recommend to do larger sizing. I'm not here to trade eval and pass them over the course of a few months. I'm ready to do that for fundeds though. Fundeds to get like that payout. Because if you do the same thing on Apex on funded, that's like 9,000 profits. That's a lot of profits. I'm willing to have a 3-month plan to reach that goal. But for evals, I really want to pass in like about 10 days if I can. How close do the FEG have to be to create a BPR, please? So this is a good example that we called out on stream. This is basically, just look at, we're gonna just extend this to the side. We're creating like a FEG here, right? FEG here. This is another FEG, bullish FEG. So like everything's been supported until we get closure below. Once we get closure below, we get an inversion now. And then we also create a bearish FEG here on the orange box. Once we get a close above, this now becomes an inversion. But since we have so many overlapping, this inversion is useless now. We were focusing on this one, and this becomes a BPR because it's overlapping with each other. So there's no point in looking at this whole 1 minute FEG when there's already something that's showing inside of it, which is this 1 minute imbalance here. And you can see like we tapped it inside, we close above, now support, tap, 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 tap. Every tap really delivers a strong move up. So that's why you want to focus on that BPR. And same thing with this BPR. This is the same thing. Like, you know, we have a bearish FEG. We close below. This should, with a bearish, if we think this is bearish, this should validate and reject off of this bearish FEG. It did. It closed above. We basically have a invalidated bearish FEG, created a bullish FEG. This is just a BPR now. Instead of making this bearish one an inversion, it makes more sense to me to create this as a BPR. And we can see like it comes back up, retap back down, comes back up for higher prices, down, and then really just slam through. So it's now support, comes back down, and then slam through again and push higher. And we can extend this to the right. Once we get closure below, we're going to be viewing this BPR as resistance now for price to hold down. So once we get closed below, now it's resistance. Retap, down. Retap, down. Does that make sense? Same thing with this BPR. And once we get closure below, this is now seen as resistance with it. That's how I'm playing BPR. I have a thread on that I think we linked up earlier that pairs well with the breakers. But yeah, ironically, this trade is becoming more of a... We didn't get any TPs down here. It's okay. Lunchtime is already arising. If you want to see my fills on my main account here, let's just see. We had 15 minis here. We closed about 6 of it here. We closed about another 3 here. And then we closed another 1 here. So about like these closing here, about like 4 points on average, 3 points on average. About, I'll say like 4. This is 76, 77, 4 points. From 15 minis, we reduced it down to 13 minis. And we only have 2 left. So we're like about like 90% out right now. 95% out. And this is, I'll just close this if it comes back up to entry. A little disappointing though, because this trade was up 2,000 at one point. But we're falling back down now. That's just because we already made a strong delivery taking out this low. I wanted the sell side. That's why I'm holding 1 runners, but it's not like we're going to get that. We're already kind of... We have the low resist liquidity and approaching lunchtime. So we can really come back up. We can just close this trade here. I'm happy we close the trade here. I'll just find everything. And the results of this is we're about... There's a little differences. I think it's because we market exited some of them. But about 1,500. 15 to 1,400 up. All these accounts. Remember on the NQ trade here, we were down 700. And the trade on the ES, we made about 2.3K. This was 2,000 at one point on the low end. Once we had like about 4 minis down here. But it came back up. I wanted to really target this low. And then eventually, if it does hold past that, get down here. What is a clean trade? I've been in this for 2 hours, Monoli said. Yeah, have green stops. I'd also add green stops. This is probably where I'm going to close it, just because, remember, we're talking about all these relative equal lows. We had a slight jab. This could already been a nice clear jab, but once we had a distinguishable move here, this sweep here, this also takes out this 942 low. And, oh, this should not be, should be down here. And that's where, like, price needs to hold below, but did not. And instead, it really chose to take out the lower resistance liquidity here, which is the trendline liquidity. Sometimes I get difficulty trying to convey what I am trying to say because I'm thinking more fast than I can speak. I don't know if other people have that issue. So that's why I fumble in some words. But I try to slow it down because if I talk too fast, people won't understand. People will miss what I'm trying to hear or say. A good day of learning to be patient again. Yeah, I mean, we definitely been patient on this trade. Just understand, if you wanted the A+ setup here, this was a very clean setup just because we had a sweep at the 925, just right at open. We had a sweep here. Strong, energetic move down. This becomes a qualified breaker. We're leaving a 5-minute gap. You probably could just do a short right here because that's within the breaker. And then just do, let's do like a 4-point stop. That's probably more than enough. You probably don't need that much. But this is a simple 2RR trade here. I would probably even reduce this to this high here, 3-point stop. This is probably the setup that I neglected taking because I was too focused on NQ. We basically took this on NQ. It just didn't go as planned. Because if you observe on NQ, let me see. If you observe on NQ, we took this trade, right? And I think we had a higher high. So if you're looking at to 10 o'clock candle, this made a high here. Look at ES. We made a lower high. NQ made a higher high. So we were in this short here on NQ. If we took on ES, we would not get stopped out. And we would have been more open to take out this low. That's just my wrong decision to play NQ. Because the bias was very clear on ES. That's why the second trade we took was on ES. So that was a good lesson learned there. And we did sweep the lows here. Didn't want to go for these lows though. We were like about 1 point off. We hit 73.75. The low here was 73. 3 ticks off. That could have been a TP already too. But I'm not here to tell you when to take profit. I'm more here to give you the trade entry. And the take profit is up to you guys. That's kind of how I operate on things. But yeah, very clean breaker setup here. This would have been nice. Entry at the start of the breaker, which would coincide with this 5-minute FEG. You would have had about 1 point of drawdown as well. And putting stop above here, which is the previous high, it would need to go above the New York Open, which it really didn't do that well. Once New York Open opened up, I think we did a pop, right? We did a quick pop, and then it immediately closed lower. But pay attention to the hourly. The hourly is very important to me. Remember, the low time frame bias does not mean shit if the hourly doesn't coincide with you. So we're looking at the hourly here. We're looking at 2 hourlies, FEGs. Disrespected. The bearish FEG here, closing lower. This is the bullish FEG that respected here, but once it closed below, this is more of an inversion now. I'm not going to mark it as inversion, but we retap back up, inverted, slam back down. This hourly coincided with this 5-minute here. So that's why this trade played out so well. And that's why I was so bearish on ES. So an inversion is a FEG that basically went through and become a support. You're kind of seen as support. I don't want you to view it as support and resistance. But let's just say, let's just use this example. We have a 5-minute here, a bounce here, right? If this closed, we want to see if we're really bullish, we want to see if price comes back down to it. It could go halfway mark. It could go just a little bit. We want to see price support the movement up. But if it does something like this, if it closed back below, closing here, we want to see that 5-minute becomes an inversion. So if it does return back up, we want to see that support the bearish side. So that's how I'm kind of utilizing it. Don't try to think too much about it being support and resistance. It's just more like if it supports the momentum wherever it's heading. And I would need the breaker and I would need the hourly bias to dictate it. So if my hourly bias
is already leaning lower, and we violate the bearish PD rate, which is the reasonable right. If I'm looking hourly for lower prices and we have a bullish PD rate, I want that to slam down, violate that. So for ES, let me see. Let me see here. What's a good example? If I can see on the 1 minute, maybe we can find on the 1 minute here. There's not that many gaps, huh? But I guess this case here, right? We have a 1 minute FEG. I'm already bearish here because we're respecting off the 15 minute. We're respecting on the hourly breaker. So if I want price to, or the 5 minute breaker, I'm sorry. If I am bullish or if I'm bearish, I want this FEG here to slam down, which we did, and it's still consolidated, but like that's just the theme of it. It's a failed fair value gap. So it's like, imagine like it's a failed support of a balance, and whatever it does, you want that the counteracting bias to violate. So if you're bearish, you want all the bullish PD rate on the lower time frame to violate, so you can enter on the coinciding bias, which is short for me. Let me just read the chat again. I've been in the trade for 2 hours. Good day. So inversion is fair value. Yeah, we're up to date. And that's the recap today. This trade could have delivered better. We got about 4 points from it. 4 point with 2 point stop. That's about 2 RR. We did go all the way down here to about 7 points. I just didn't take profit here. I didn't take profit here either. 6 points. I think I was just letting it ride. I was going for the objective 73. We just need a closure of it. So let's just do an example here. Let's just imagine that, right? Just a little bit higher. This would be the FEG here. I'll just mark it as BPR just so we can see it better. And we want, if it's bullish, we want it to do something like this and return back to it for higher prices. But it becomes an inversion if it closes under it. And now this becomes an inversion. And in this theme here, we want to see this act as a bearish PD array, which if it comes back up, we want to see it support the downside move. We can talk about that more, and you'll learn about that real time when we're backtesting or backtesting, forward testing, and just trading real time. I think this is a good time to end the stream. Definitely join the Discord right now. I opened it up for everyone. If you want to join, you can join the link in the description. It should have my socials there. And we might take some trades for PM session. I don't think I'll live for PM right now. We're still in this imbalance here. Or not imbalance, just in this chop. But yeah, we trade 2 hours, right? So for morning session, we start trading about 9:50. We look to end at 12 mark. So once we're at lunchtime, just end the day. And especially if you're green, you don't need to keep on trading every session. I have 49 more questions. Definitely or ask that next stream or in the Discord. We're just going to end the stream here, guys. I'll post the link to my Discord here if you guys want to join it. It's free right now. I'm not focused on being a premium service anymore. We're still going to operate with that, but we're going to teach and just act like a pure trader. Pure trader instead of focus on trying to satisfy people, trying to do all of that. I posted a link to my bento. It should show the Discord at the bottom. All right, let's end the stream here, guys. It's a good stream today. We were very profitable on this.